So one thing is to work on your burpees with no weight, gymnastic style, in my little comfort zone. But another one is to go out in the field, have all the gear and all the equipment, and make sure that you can be as efficient as we're trying to be here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook Rickard up with our nice little home device, 40-pound weight vest, and a little fat barbell, and we got our little nice little sling. See that? That's super solid. Hotness. So we're gonna see if we can do the same movement, replicate being on the ground, he's shooting, lying down in that position, and see if he can do that same translation and see if we can work on those same positions and see what happens and what changes and how we can fix this to make it more efficient for him. The gun may knock him in the face, the weight vest may be too heavy, all kinds of things can happen. So let's see what goes down and we'll correct from there. So let's start from the bottom position.
Yeah, sure.
He's down in the shooting position, whatever that looks like. And now from here, he has to transition to standing. What would you do in this case, Rickard? Show me what you would do.
I would release my weapon.
So he releases the weapon first.
If I got it sling.
He's got a sling, so it's right in front of him.
Yeah.
You would get into his push-up position.
Yeah. And up. Yeah.
And then back up to stand.
Try to get out.
So, was it harder, easier, the same?
It's definitely harder, it is.
Definitely harder. So this is when that push-up with a little jump is really going to come into play, because getting your chest up where most of the weight is carried is going to be key to be able to transition your feet in and get your hips under your head or under your shoulders as fast as possible. The gun weighs a fair amount, so it's most likely not going to whip you in the face, especially if it's hanging right. And I think you have to make sure to position it a little further away from your face. If you position it too close, it's going to want to recoil and jump back up. So as he gets out of his shooting position, he's going to drop the gun, but he's going to drop it in front of him a little further. Hands are going to come back, and he's going to try to do that same burpee and see what that looks like, okay? Do it at your own speed. Shooting position. It's time to move. Good job. You'll stand up from there, ready to go. And that was him doing a little bit of robotic way. Now we're going to try to do it at speed, see if you can maintain those positions and make it kind of automatic. So I'm going to give you a little signal. I'm going to say go, and then you'll try to get up as fast as you can. And go. Good job. So that's a pretty efficient burpee, and actually what we're seeing now is that in his back there's very little deviation. So from his butt to his head, it's a nice solid line. I think something that's really helping him do that is because he's carrying this weight vest, it's forcing him to get into a better position. And this is something that we've seen a lot, and I think it's something very important to address, is that when we work body weight skills or gymnastic stuff, just because we're unloaded doesn't mean we can get into a poor position. And what I'm talking about here is that if we get really specific and technical about our gymnastics positions and the movement, we're gonna save ourselves from wasting and spending a lot of energy, and B, we're gonna avoid a bunch of stress injuries that come from doing these movements repeatedly. So check that out, try that out, let's see what happens. Hopefully it'll make a difference. So the hardest one is always going from your lying on your chest to your feet. Another one that's a little more simple is when you go to your kneeling position, which would be onto one knee, 1 foot up. So can you show us what that looks like? That's your position. Yeah. He's sitting kind of on his back heel right there. He's looking for more stability. So what we're gonna try to do is go from our push-up position into that position as fast as we can. What's gonna happen here is instead of going both feet at the same time, it's gonna be one knee in, the other knee stays back. So it's a shorter distance to cover. It's a little easier to do, but it's a little harder to find stability. So let's see what's going on, see if we can fix some stuff, and if not, that will be your ideal situation, okay? Lying position, belly tight. He's in the shooting position, he's getting ready to go. Back to kneel. Good. So what we saw there is we saw feet dragging, keeping it nice and easy on the ground, but that could cause some kind of friction and make it a little slower and sluggish. So let's see if you can pop your chest up, drive the hips in a little faster for him. Yeah. So go. Good job. What happens now is that there's rotation, so it gets a little bit trickier, but that's something that we need to practice. And efficient practice and really chasing quality is key stuff to make these transitions nice and smooth. Try it one more time.
Yeah, sure.
Go. Getting better and better every time. And then you have to take this nice back position that he was maintaining the whole time with that belly nice and tight into carrying equipment and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
So keep practicing, perfect practice, chase quality, stay consistent, and you'll make it happen. Cool.